Hey, hope everyone's doing great. It's Dan and Ash here, and we are back for our second episode of Dashley's Top Takeaways.
Yes. So as we go along our property investment journey, we just think it's really important that we keep on focusing on personal development, building really good habits to hopefully help us achieve our goals. So we want to just share some of those with you. So every month we're going to be reading a book and then sharing our top takeaways. And hopefully that'll be interesting and that you'll find it useful as well.
We read Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's packed with tons and tons of really great practical tips on how to build good habits, but also an easy way to, break bad habits as well. So we're going to jump into that book and give you our top 4 takeaways.
So takeaway number 1 is all about getting 1% better every single day. And the real aha moment for me with this one was that actually my results and my habits don't happen at the same time. There's a lag between the two. So whatever daily habits I'm doing now aren't necessarily going to give me immediate results. They're going to give me results in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 10 years. So what happens is sometimes I've started a good habit and I've got disheartened and not stuck with it because I haven't seen results immediately. And likewise, sometimes it's easy for me to let small habits slide, like hitting my snooze button in the morning, because I don't see the result immediately. But what it's taught me is actually to think about what my current trajectory is rather than my current results. So what direction are my current habits taking me in, rather than what results do I have right now, because that's going to help me stick with my good habits and not let little habits that seem insignificant at the time slide, because then I'll be sliding in that direction.
My takeaway number 2, this was a real eye-opener for me as well, because this was all about changing your identity in order to either develop really good habits or get rid of bad habits. So let me use an example like, let's say, getting fit and healthy. What happens is that your self-preservation mechanism will never let you take on a new habit if it conflicts with what you believe about yourself. So let's say you want to get fit and healthy, but every time you look in the mirror, you think, oh, I'm overweight, or I don't look good in my clothes. Then that's going to conflict with you trying to be the kind of person who consistently works out and eats well. So what we've got to do is short circuit that. And we've got to tell ourselves, I'm the kind of person who works out. I'm the kind of person who is consistently eating well and achieving those goals. And when we think about this in our property journey, we're now thinking, well, what would a professional property investor do in that circumstance? And that's our identity that we're adopting. So when it's tough, you've got to make a difficult phone call or a tricky negotiation, or go and view 40 properties in the middle of the winter and it's raining up north. You've just got to do it because that's what a property investor would do.
Takeaway number 3 is motion versus action. And there's a big difference between motion and action, so I have learned. So we often kid ourselves that we're making progress, but we're actually not taking action to make progress. We're just in something that's called motion. So to give you an example, I might research loads and loads of properties, look at the floor plans, look at the area, but unless I actually go and view those properties and make offers, I'm in motion. I'm just in the motion. I'm convincing myself that I'm being super productive, but I'm actually not moving anywhere. And it's not that research isn't important. It's just that research isn't going to get me to my goals. And the reason that we get stuck in motion is because motion makes us feel like we're moving forward without the fear of failure. If I want to move from a place of motion into a place of action, I'm going to have to get over the fear of failure of, oh, my offer might not be accepted, or I might get gazumped, or the deal might fall through, because it's actually the action that's going to take me to my goals.
The 4th takeaway, I'm going to unpack this one a little bit, because this one is all about the steps that we need to take to actually change a habit. And the book talks about the 4 laws of habit change, or 4 steps that are involved in every habit that we do. Number 1 is a cue. Number 2 is a craving. Number 3 is a response. and number 4 is a reward. So what we want to do is have a plan for every step of the process to make it as easy as possible for us to adopt good habits and actually get rid of bad habits. So an example of something that I've implemented since reading the book is I want to work out more. So I want to make it really easy, and I've set up a queue to make that possible. So my queue for working out now is that the night before I take out my gym clothes and I put them into this room, the office, because this is where I come first thing in the morning to check on emails, right? And that in itself is a terrible habit. So let's get rid of that. Let's actually work out first thing in the morning. And the book has so many great examples of how to make it easy to adopt good habits and actually easy to break bad habits as well by just setting up really good actions within each of these steps.
So that sums up our top takeaways from Atomic Habits by James Clear. Great book. So takeaway number 1 is to get 1% better every single day. Takeaway number 2 is if you want to change your habits, you must change your identity. Number 3 is don't get stuck in motion. Make sure that you're taking action so that you're actually achieving what you want. And the final one are the 4 laws of behavioural change. So what practical steps can you take to make your habits really easy to do?
Yes, so we hope you've enjoyed this. We'll be back next month with another episode of Dashley's Top Takeaways from the next book that we're reading. If you have any suggestions of books that you think we should be reading, please comment below and we'll check them out as well. Okay, take care guys.
Bye.